Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Lollipop, and in about 30 minutes or so I'm going to be trying to pick up some used bikes online at a very discounted price so I can hopefully flip them for a profit. Now I'm going to try to make this video quicker since my last video on flipping a bike was a lot longer than I expected it to be with all the issues I had. Definitely check that video out if you haven't already. I had about like 5 different problems on this Trek FX that I was trying to flip, and I'll link that to the top right of the video right now as well as in the description below if you're interested. And although I still made a pretty good profit on that FX bike, I kind of wanted to redeem myself after that one and not encounter as many issues. So this week I've been looking a lot and I found some pretty good deals, and I'll kind of show the footage of me looking at those listings and talking about them right now. Alright, so here we are on my computer. Unfortunately, I'm recording this after the fact, so the person selling the kids bike removed the listing already, but here's a small picture of it. So this is actually a Trek kids bike, but this person has it for sale for only $80. Now, I've built enough kids bikes at Trek to know that this bike is a 2022 model of the Trek Precaliber 20, and it retails for $330 before tax, which is an insane amount for a kids bike. But hey, that works in my favor here because I can definitely clean it and get more money than $80. I won't focus on this bike as much in this video, but I did end up offering $70 to the person and they accepted that offer, which makes this an even better deal. And you can even see here that there is a similar bike for sale for $250, so that's good to see. But the main bike we're going to be focusing on is this. This is a Trek Dual Sport 2 that someone is listing for sale for $450. Now, right away, as I mentioned in my last bike flipping video, I always check the retail price of the bike first. And good thing I did that here, because when I search up a 2021 Dual Sport 2, I cannot find this exact bike. And that is because this person messed up and it's actually a 2023 Trek Dual Sport 2. And I found that out by just looking on the Trek website for Dual Sport 2 models, and I found this one in the exact same color. And looking at various parts on the bike, like the wheels and the drivetrain, it's the same bike, just in the smaller frame size, so it has a curved frame. Now, this model brand new retails currently for $790 US, which is also a crazy high price for this bike in my opinion. And after taxes and everything, that ends up being around $850, so $450 ain't a bad price. But the deal gets even better because the bike looks to be in pretty clean condition. Like, the tires don't even seem dirty at all, and on top of that you can see that this bike also has full coverage fenders. And just by looking at these, I know that they are the Bontrager NCS fenders that retail for $70. And then we also have a kickstand in the back, which is also from Bontrager and retails for $23. There's a different generic looking seat on here as well, and there's even a rear Bontrager taillight that I can see. That one costs $42 for the full set, so I'll estimate that around $20 for the rear light only. So if you add it all up, this bike brand new cost this person around $950 to buy, which is so insane, but that makes this bike a really good deal for me. And I'm always going to try to offer a lower price in case they say yes, so I ended up offering $350, which is much lower, but we ended up settling on $400 as a result of that, which I'm completely happy with. That's more than a 50% discount on a bike that seems almost brand new. And real quick, I mentioned before that I usually look at the Bicycle Blue Book for value guides on used bikes. I'm not affiliated with that company in any way, I just know that a lot of people use it for value estimates, and the guide is not perfect, but a lot of people on Facebook accept these values. So in this case, a 2022 Dual Sport 2 in very good condition can be sold online for up to $625. They don't have the 2023 on there, but the 2022 and 2023 are actually basically the exact same bikes. But $625, that's already an insane profit in my opinion, so I'm going to go ahead and jump on these two bikes as soon as I can. Alright, welcome back to the footage of me walking towards my car to go ahead and pick up those two bikes right now. I'll try to make sure I notice all of the issues and everything with these bikes this time, because last time I messed up a lot. So I'll definitely give them a good test ride, check all the parts on them to make sure that I'm not getting ripped off or scammed or anything like that. So I'm going to turn off the camera now and then I'll turn it back on once I go ahead and get the first bike. Alright guys, just got the first bike. Looks like it's in pretty good condition. Alright guys, bike number 2. Yeah, we picked this one up. It looks pretty good. But this color actually looks pretty nice. in the light. So we'll take it out in the sunlight tomorrow so I can show you. All right, so it is the next day. Unfortunately, it gets dark at like 3 p.m. now, so I couldn't record the bikes yesterday, but nonetheless, here we are with our first victim. Bike. This is the Trek kids bike, the 2022 Precaliber 20. You can see that right there. Precaliber 20. And I've just checked over it and test ridden it to make sure that everything is in good condition, which it is. You can tell here that the bike is pretty dirty. A lot of dust and mud on other parts of the frame, on the gears. The rear brake isn't working too well. But I can easily adjust that. These handlebars are kind of a little too far back. We're gonna have to bring them forward a little bit to make it more comfortable for the rider. I'd say the only issue with this bike is actually the rear tire. So take a look at this. The tire is basically just really bare in the middle. I guess this kid was kind of skidding on his bike a lot and doing some burnouts or something. So as you can see, the front tire, that's what it's supposed to look like. Has some good amount of knobs and tread on there. Now, I don't want to spend too much time on this bike, so I'm just going to leave this rear tire as is. However, I will notify the buyer that this rear tire might need to be replaced if you do want to take your kid on some actual mountain biking trails and stuff like that. All right, but enough on this bike. I'll show you the finished product after I'm done cleaning it, but let's move on to the actual protagonist, I guess, of this video. Well, this makes me sad. I was bringing out the bike, and as I got off the bike, I accidentally kicked the rear light off and completely broke it. So that's something I can't sell with the bike anymore. But for your reference, the light worked completely fine. All right, besides that little mishap here is the 2023 Trek Dual Sport 2. I'm so happy I got this bike because I just finished giving it a nice test ride and there's barely anything wrong with it. All right, so the front brake rotor is rubbing against the front two brake pads. If you can kind of hear that noise, it's just an annoying noise. Doesn't affect the performance, but I can easily adjust that to fix that. And then we do just have a couple issues with the shifting. It's not really shifting to certain gears as I want it to. Literally, besides those two mechanical things, this bike is in perfect working condition. Just has a couple scratches on the frame, as well as kind of a big scratch on the head tube right there. Just by looking at the parts on this bike has not really been used all that much. It is dirty in some spots. Now, besides that, the only upsetting thing about this bike is that it comes with these. These are some off-brand brakes. On Trek's website, this bike is supposed to come with Tektro branded hydraulic disc brakes, but recently, due to the part shortage, Trek has been using some generic brakes on these bikes, and they are just horrible in my opinion. They're kind of unpredictable. Sometimes you have to pull the brake lever a lot. Like, I'm pulling it all the way to the grip right now just to get it to engage, and sometimes they don't pull that far. Like you can see now, the next time I'm pulling it, it's just like a lot better. It's not really going to be a safety issue on this bike, so I'm not that worried about it, but it's just kind of annoying, and you can feel just how low quality they are. And another thing that I just have to mention right now, the color on this bike is Mulsanne blue, and it looks absolutely gorgeous in the sunlight. On top of that, it also has the other accessories that I already mentioned, like this generic seat here, which actually isn't too bad. It's comfortable, better than the hard Bontrager seat that Trek usually specs on this bike, so not complaining about that. And also these Bontrager fenders, which are basically in brand new condition, so that's actually amazing to see. Besides that part that broke off the end there with the light, but everything else is basically brand new. They work perfectly fine. And of course, moving to the other side, we have that rear kickstand, which works perfectly well as well. It's all clean and looks brand new too. But yeah, besides that, all this bike needs is a small tune-up and a light wash. So let's go throw it on my bike stand, clean it up as much as we can, and we'll go from there. Okay, so kids bike first. This one just needed a good wipe down, so I used some bike wash and sprayed all around the bike, cleaning the frame, the wheels, and the drivetrain. It was really satisfying to see all of that dust and mud come off all the parts. And then I adjusted various components like the handlebars, the seat height, and the brakes after tightening down all of the bolts. For the Dual Sport, this bike was basically already clean. I just wiped it down real quick at the end to make it really shine out, but besides that, I only had to adjust the front brake to remove that brake rub. And I adjusted the drivetrain, which wasn't working too well since the rear derailleur was giving me a lot of issues, but I eventually figured it out after like 30 minutes of trying, so it took a while, but now it works great. I also just adjusted various components on the bike, like the seat angle and the handlebars, just to make them a little bit more suitable to my liking and riding style. But now that both bikes are clean and ready for a new home, it's time to take some nice pictures of them to show the people on Facebook Marketplace how professional we are with our listings. As you can see, I take this part very seriously since, in my experience, the better the pictures are, the more offers I get, and generally more people are willing to pay a higher price or my asking price for the bike when it looks a lot better in the pictures. I'll show the listings I made for both of them on the screen right now as well. I always try to be very descriptive so people know what they're getting into. I list all of the features, the retail price, and any issues with the bike so people can see the effort, and it also seems more honest and genuine that way so people are more willing to purchase it. And I made sure to add some pictures of the Dual Sport in the sunlight so people could fall in love with that color as much as I did. And now we just publish the listings and wait for some offers, so I'll come back on the camera when I'm officially selling one of the bikes. Alright guys, welcome back. It's literally been about a month now since I recorded. Haven't really gotten any offers on the kids' bike, but I got one this morning and I'm very excited about it because they just offered $250, which is like $10 less than my asking price. So that's great. So of course I accepted that offer, and you can look at the bike again. It looks absolutely perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it, bring it to the person, and I'll come back on camera if I sold the bike. Alright guys, and I am back. I sold the bike for $250, which is honestly an amazing deal for this one. And looking back, I only spent $70 on the bike and I didn't really put anything else into it. I just spent a lot of time cleaning it and making sure it looked good for the camera, and then I took good pictures of it and everything. So overall, that is a $180 profit, which I am more than enthusiastic about. I really like that. This one actually worked out as compared to my last video on the FX where it didn't really work out that well. So I'm definitely happy with that amount, and that just goes to show you that a little bit of patience goes a long way, since I went a month without getting basically anyone messaging me, and I decided to just keep it up there, same price, and just wait. I'm assuming the reason why I didn't get a lot of offers was probably because it's like the winter time and people aren't really biking, but as it gets closer to the holidays and Christmas time, some people do want to get some kids' bikes for that time of year. So I think it ended up working out that I waited a little bit. So yeah, that's pretty much how it went with this one, so I'm very happy about that. Now, about the Dual Sport, I had this bike listed for a little bit. Didn't really have enough time to get any offers on it yet, but the more I had it listed online, I was kind of falling in love with this bike, and I decided to actually keep it. I think I might actually end up giving it to my mom and see if she likes it, since she's currently riding my Marlin 7, so we'll see if she prefers this one over the other one. But before that, I do want to make a kind of review on this one, since it is a 2023 model, and a lot of you are interested in the Dual Sports, so I'll try to ride around for a bit and see how I feel and if it's a good bike for you guys. But yeah, at the end of the day, I'll probably title this video something other than flipping a bike. It'll probably just be like getting a bike at a discounted price or something, since I didn't actually end up flipping the main one in the video. Despite that though, I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me buying a Dual Sport at a very fair price and flipping a kid's bike as well. If you want more content like this, definitely comment down below and like this video to let me know that you guys like it. Or if you want anything to be changed, please let me know as well. I'm always open to any feedback. So besides that, I hope all of you have a wonderful morning today, and remember to keep biking.